Welcome back to Living IncogNegro. I'm Jin. Join our community at TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are an actor, a public speaker, if you're going out on a date, it can be really good to know where your eyes are going, what they're doing, and why. But most especially if you're doing any kind of in-person communication, it's very important that you know what you're communicating so that you can do it intentionally. It's kind of ironic that we are a visual culture more than ever, but when we are on camera, very often we don't know what to do with our eyes or why we are doing what we are doing with our eyes. And especially since 2020, when in-person interactions stimulate the nervous system more than they did before we had all of that time apart. And it's been a few years, but you still see echoes of this happening with people. And so I think one of the first things you need to know is that charge is there, that charge is real. Don't gaslight yourself and say, oh, there's no reason I need to be feeling this way. Just feel your feelings and breathe in the charge, because usually when we get that stimulation, we stop breathing. And then right away, you started a downward spiral. So if you breathe in the camera, or maybe if there's somebody on the other side, then that can really help regulate your nervous system again. Now, why are we looking in the directions that we're looking when we're not making that direct eye contact? And we usually don't always maintain direct eye contact when we're talking with somebody live, because that is sort of, in a primal way, threatening. But let's be aware of what's happening. So when people are more kinesthetically oriented, so for example, maybe you know you're kinesthetically oriented if you know that you have to do something in order to learn it physically, then there's a good chance you're kinesthetically oriented. That's your primary processor. And you probably look down when you are trying to think of what to say, when you're processing a response. This can be effective in film if your character has a line that goes directly to another line. They're trying to be quick, clever, fast. You just look down real quick and look up. If your director is saying, you're taking too much time processing the idea, just looking down, looking up, that communicates a lot. If you're looking to the sides, then you're probably an aural processor. And so you are perhaps, if you're right-handed, looking to the left, trying to remember the sound of what it is that you're trying to remember. It could be some words that you heard, how to pronounce something, acetaminophen, anyway. Or maybe you're looking, you're listening into the future for your answer. If you're looking up for the answer, chances are that you are more visually oriented. And again, if you're right-handed, then you're probably looking a little bit up and to the left. If you are remembering something and futures to the right. But if you're left-handed, you might be remembering up and towards the right and looking into the future in that direction. So that's a lot of what's going on. And if you realize that about yourself, that moment when we're just going inside, like the Michael Chekhov acting pointing exercise, if you're familiar with it, where you're doing a monologue and you're checking in, what are you actually saying to yourself? And then when are you looking at the other actor to see what has landed, and what they're going to do about it? So when we realize we've kind of drifted off into that place, that is a really good thing to train yourself to do less of if you know you do it a lot. And when you do have a little more eye contact, people feel like they can sense you more. And if that's what you want, then give it a try. Thank you for joining me at Living IncogNegro. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and you can find out more at my podcast or at livingincognegro.com.